doorbell. Yeah.
Well, the owner.
Wow.
2 pages, huh?
2 pages, right?
It was pretty,
2 or 3?
4 or
You just go with it.
5.
It's all good.
Oh, should we go with this?
Yes.
Okay. Call to order the meeting, Bennington Town Board meeting for February 11th, 2026. Call the meeting to order will be led by, in the Pledge of Allegiance by Councilman Brownick.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice
for all. Our agenda is set. Do we have any additions or corrections to the agenda? None heard. Any conflict of interest to bring about? I don't have my voucher numbers. You don't have voucher
Oh,
numbers.
here, this is your folder.
Okay. She got one for me. Thank you. Okay, so financial matters are to approve the annual Williamson Law Book Software Support Contract for $1,475. Accounting and Eagle Systems Contract for copier Toshiba Model TAC 31 for maintenance and supplies for $984. The, you want to do them all together, or you want to do these two?
Usually do the Williams model.
Okay. Okay. So we need a motion to pass these.
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. General fund vouchers. Number 425 to 438, totaling $12,906.26. Highway fund vouchers 231 to 254, totaling $105,942.01. Colesville water voucher number 19 to 22, totaling $705.74. Colesville light voucher number 2 for $250.99. And Bennington Fire Company number 601 for $43,000. Can I get a motion to approve these vouchers for payment?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Supervisor presented the monthly supervisor's report to the board for examination for a period ending January 31st, 2026. Any issues or additions, corrections? Can I get a motion to approve the financial report ending January 31st, 2026?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Unfinished business. The public hearing for local law number 1, guidelines for dog kennels, remains open. The public is encouraged to submit written comments or concerns to our town hall or to the town clerk's email address. We are in a pending matter with the Niagara Solar project across the street. At this time, we are consulting counsel and trying to contact the representatives from Niagara Solar. We have yet to establish either one of those. So over the next short period of time, as soon as possible, we are going to establish both of those contacts and proceed, on that matter as advised by our council and the status of the Niagara Solar Project as it is today. On to new business. Resolution 2026-2-8, appointment to our planning board. Be it resolved that the town board hereby appoints David Steffenhagen, 1026 Ryline Road, Colesville, New York, 14037, to the Town of Bennington Planning Board to fill the unexpired term of Donna Hummel, said appointment to be effective February 11th, 2026 through December 30th, 2028. Can I get a motion to approve resolution 2026-2-8?
I'll make a motion. Sorry.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You have it?
Opposed? Carried. Resolution 2026-2-9,
No, okay.
setting dates for workshop sessions. Be it resolved that the town board hereby sets the following dates and times for the purpose of workshop sessions for the research and development of proposed local laws, including the gathering of oral and written public comments for local law number 1, guidelines for dog kennels, and local law number 2, dog control, as well as the regulation of wind energy conversion systems and other planning and zoning matters within the town. The dates are February 25th, March 4th, March 25th, April 9th, and April 23rd, all at 6 p.m. here at Bennington Town Hall, 905 Old Allegheny Road, Attica, New York, 14011. Be it further resolved that the town clerk is hereby authorized and directed to advertise the same in our legal newspaper of the town. Can I get a motion to approve resolution 2026-2-9?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. Resolution 2026-2-10, rescinding resolution 2025-11-11 of the appointments and reappointments to various boards. Be it resolved that the town board hereby rescinds resolution 2025-11-11 of the appointments and reappointments to various boards of Town Planning Board, Jacob Fitzpatrick, member South Shore Drive, Alden, New York. Town Zoning Board of Appeals, Richard Jensen, member 1909, Clinton Street, Attica, New York. Kim Kiker, member, Clinton Street, Colesville, New York. Ellen Grant, secretary/alternate, 134 Clinton, Alden, New York. Board of Assessment Review, Christopher Hickey, member at 1308 Folsomdale Road in Colesville, New York. James Rosiniak, member, Getman Road, Alden, New York. And Brian Waite, alternate, Friedman Road, Darien Center, New York. These appointments were made before the expiration of their terms, with no effective dates in place, and the supervisor at the time, Grant, voted to appoint herself to another town board, resulting in a conflict of interest. A complete review of the above-named candidates will be done by the town board, and all qualified parties will be officially contacted and reappointed according to the town law at the earliest possible time. Can I get a motion to approve resolution 2026-2-10? Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Resolution,
Mr. Barchi,
yes,
we have a meeting coming up, the zoning board of appeals has a meeting coming up. What does this mean for the members that were on that list?
they will be contacted, as I said, at my earliest convenience, and if they want to be reappointed, we will again do that as early as we possibly can to avoid any interference with, the board functioning.
Okay, but if you're gonna reappoint them, that'll be at the next meeting. That'll be after our
We
meeting.
can do it before if need be, so if it's going to help, keep the meetings flowing and not disturb the function of the board, we can do that.
Okay, if we could do that, I would appreciate it, please.
We can do that. They would have to agree that they want to be reappointed first through our communication, and if they do, we'll make that happen as soon as we can to again keep the board's functioning as is.
I know there's
When's your
at
next-
least 2 people here.
When's your next meeting, Mike?
The 24th.
Yeah, Rick is here and Kim Piper is here. So maybe,
Well, we can get 2 birds with 1 stone here. Resolution 2026-2-11, creation of the Deputy Highway Superintendent position. Be it resolved that the town board hereby creates the position of Deputy Highway Superintendent to be appointed by our Highway Superintendent or the town board and serve at the pleasure of the Highway Superintendent according to town law. Can I get a motion to accept Resolution 2026-2-11? Can I get a second? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Resolution 2026-2-12, setting the definition of unavailable for work in regard to the deputy performing duties of elected officials in the town of Bennington. Be it resolved that the town board hereby sets the definition of unavailable for the following positions, which would result in a deputy for each said position, temporarily assuming the role and performing the duties of said official until their return. Town supervisor will be deemed unavailable if they cannot be reached or communicate the required needs at the time and are unable through either short or long-term disability or geographic location to be physically present for duty if called upon. The same definition applies to the highway superintendent, with the additional stipulation that the above defined unavailability must be for a minimum of 48 consecutive hours for a deputy to assume/perform the duties of the highway superintendent. Can I get a motion to approve Resolution 2026-2-12?
and is that in the town law?
What?
The setting, the unavailable?
Correct. So
It's in the union contract.
the highway superintendent is governed by the CBA. Highway superintendent is governed by CBA. We are both governed by town law.
Mhm.
We're following town law on both,
Okay.
also including, language to satisfy all parties there.
Okay.
Motion to approve 2026-2-12.
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Our minutes of the previous meeting were presented to the town board. Any additions or corrections?
No, I already sent mine in.
Me too.
In your package, you'll have the organizational meeting minutes from January 8th, the regular town board meetings from January 8th, and the regular town board minutes from January 21st.
Meetings are minutes of these past meetings are accepted as entered. Do you want, Joanne, why don't you go ahead with you want to do clerk communications first? Okay.
The only clerk communication I have is to recognize the Bennington Fire Company. Since it is winter and there's snow stacking up, the Bennington Fire Company does have reflective stickers for purchase. If you want to fill one of these out, you can drop it off with me. It's $15. We'll forward it to the fire company. And it's just something I do every winter, so, you know where you are. And that's all I have for communications right now.
So they know where we are. Okay, communications, from my perspective. So I have, I received communication from various residents about alarmingly high, NICEAG bills that people are getting. Oddball communications, random spike months of $1,300-1,500 mixed into $200 to $300 averages before, consistent rises in bills, a lot of issues. I put this out to numerous resources, trying to get some answers. A lot of it goes back to the Public Service Commission, which is not a great answer for us, to be totally honest with you. Those are the people making these laws and setting these regulations that are way above, our control to get to. However, reaching out to the various resources that I have, magically I received a phone call and an invitation from NYSEG, calling me to meet and speak with them. So they heard, they know. We're not the only town experiencing this by far, but they are aware. So I have a meeting with NYSEG, I believe is next week, Thursday, and I'm going to do my best to get answers for everybody. There's too much randomness to it. Myself, I have not been hit with high NYSEG bills. People are sending me their bills on my phone, and the usage rate, it's not just the delivery. If it was, a rate hike across the board that we all had to absorb, we don't have to like it, but we have to deal with it. When the randomness comes into play and I see people with 35, 37, 3,800 kilowatt hour usages, when my house ran through for 437 this past month.
Are these like new meters too?
The smart meter, yes and no. It doesn't seem to be a universal thread, throughout.
Yeah.
I've heard both. I've heard they hit me with a smart meter and everything went haywire. And I've heard that people got smart meters and their bills are fine. Again, that's what I don't like. I don't like the randomness at all, nor do I like anybody. You cannot, nobody would be expected to pay $1,500 gas bills, or electric bills, sorry. It's unheard of, and I'm getting communication from people who, they don't know, they don't understand that it shouldn't be expected to, but they're afraid during this spell of, under zero temperatures, that they're gonna get their utilities shut off. They're not going to do that to people, but they're not gonna feel any better if they shut their utilities off in April. That's not gonna be a reasonable answer either, so. I'm not promising anybody any dramatic results. I'm not sure if anybody knows, NYSEG, New York State Electric and Gas, is owned by a company in Spain. So, let that sink in for a little bit. But there's a lot out there, okay? There's a lot out there, and there's a lot for me to dig into, to help.
I got an email today from NYSEG about, it's been pulled out and your bill may reflect that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anybody
I
else
got a
got
text
that.
message.
Yeah, I got that too.
So,
And in all fairness, I don't know that NYSEG is the one, driving this, so that's what I'm gonna try to find out. Again, I'm talking to everyone I possibly can, county, state, other towns, that have acted on this. But where it leads us, I don't know. All I can tell you is that, it's high on my list of concerns, for residents, because I opened this up to residents, and the amount of people that poured in, was not good. It was a lot. It's not one person on one road with a random draw that's loose and they don't know about or anything like that. It's a problem, big time. Our Hometown Heroes banner program, those applications I would like out March 1st to be banners to be unveiled on Memorial Day this year. I am currently haggling with the ability to have this program sponsored. I've gotten mixed feedback on it. I would like it sponsored myself, but I'm not sure that that's something they're going to allow me to do, so to speak. But Again, I'm exhausting every possible avenue for that. The banners are $140 a piece. Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna raise my hand. when
Oh,
you were done.
no. Just throw something at me.
So I talked to the Village of Alden last year, because they have that
Yeah.
also.
Yep.
And they have people sign up, the people pay for the flags themselves.
Correct.
And it's basically, because I know, because I have one for my dad in Alden, and you pay like, I don't know, if it's $25 a year or something.
For upkeep, right. In
Yes.
case a bracket
Yes.
breaks or the flag needs to be maintained,
So
correct.
they might be somebody that you can call just to get an idea of how they handle it.
Right, and
And
so
the company.
I have all that. The problem is I would like it sponsored. I'm trying not to put that cost onto the family. I don't know that there's a way around that.
Okay. But that would be a good
Right,
contact.
and Nate Monfort in Attica
Yeah.
has been very helpful as well, so, right. Surrounding communities that already have this program in place are, you know, we'll get there. Hopefully, again, March 1st, those will be available,
Do you know where you're gonna put them?
ideally at the fire halls, will obviously be the place, here at the town hall, all the fire departments, and, there's, There's a few businesses that I don't, they're not real keen on literature on their counters, but I think this is something that they would, hopefully.
No, I
make
meant
an
the
exception.
actual banners.
Oh, yeah, it depends how many we get, it depends what the interest level is, and then we have to
Yeah.
figure out, gee, obviously, we want it in the
Mhm.
we want it in the highest traffic areas we can get, the highest visibility, and I, myself, I love that idea of, decorating, as people come into town, that's the first thing they see.
Mhm.
Love that idea. We do not, so that's gonna be the issue. However much interest we get, we're gonna have to, tailor make it to what, what we can do right out of the gate. Our town newsletter should be available February 22nd. The first issue should be available February 22nd. We are going to, again, have that at various locations around town, as well as here at the town hall. It will also be available online. We're going to set up an email. We have people's emails for communication, but I'm gonna ask for that separately for the newsletter. I don't wanna assume that everybody wants the newsletter. I'll put that out there for people to sign up for. So that will be, again, hopefully, I believe February 22nd is our ballpark target date to have that out. And then from future months on, again, third, fourth week of the month, at the end of each month, that letter should be available to everyone. Social media sites have been created, so we're going to have official town sites on Facebook, on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. So I'm currently as well dealing, navigating the legalities of those social media accounts. We want to make sure it's open, available, free, and certainly informative to everybody, but moderation and, responsibility comes with that too. So, we're getting there. The sites are ready to go. I don't want them out, and then we can't take back, if things go sideways. So we want to have our policy in place firmly for that, before those are available, but look for those soon. The county acquisition of Wyomoko Park in Berrysburg is coming up rapidly. This is coming on us. We're gonna, I believe, get the approval or not of the grant money being used to acquire Wyomoko. Then myself and the other members of the Board of Supervisors at Wyoming County are gonna have to decide right then and there, do we acquire this park? I'm open to any input from anybody. Everything I've heard so far is very positive. People have very fond memories of this park. As, you know, going there as kids, 4-H type stuff, there's tons of activities. And from my own perspective, I'm very much in favor of this. The idea is to acquire this park, and then, of course, the idea is to control costs. That's the biggest barrier. It cannot turn into a money drain, but that again is our responsibility at the Board of Supervisors to keep those costs under control. In my opinion, they're not making any more land, and we're trying to acquire something that it's already what we want it to be. It's already a park. We can always acquire 300 and some acres of land, not always, but you know, at some point in time, we'd have that option, but then we would have to convert that into a park. So there's talk of being able to use some of the timber on the land to again offset costs. So to me, it's a win-win-win all around. I support it 100%, but again, I'm open to any, you know, comments or input from anybody, good or bad, you know, on that.
Are there estimates on how much it will cost to maintain the park, or once you guys get it?
Nope.
Yeah,
Nope.
how much is it?
6 or 6.7 or 9. I forget the exact. I'll get you the exact number.
Because I thought it was 1.2 million
So the
to buy it,
yeah.
right?
Well, so they have to purchase it, and then the neighboring, yeah, I'm thinking, I was thinking Speedy Cow. So the neighboring landowner is going to donate, it's like 60 or 70 acres to bring that up. I'll get you, I'm sure I have it here somewhere, I'll get you the exact figure of the acquisition price. That will be covered by the grant. So the cost to acquire the park is not the issue. The cost to run the park is the issue. Now, what I'm saying is get the park. Get it, take the grant, get the park. You don't have to add 100 things to the park day one. You know, we go at our own pace, and that's where, you know, we try to control costs. Speedy Cow, from what I understand, may be available in March. It's possible that we will have availability in March. I think the billing cycle they're targeting would begin in April. But towers will go active starting in March, from my understanding.
Do you know where the towers are?
Folsom Dale is the one we're getting.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
It's already there.
Yeah, correct. They're just attaching to that. No new structures, no
Okay.
new anything like that. I believe there's some just on the other side of 28 possibly as well. Those might provide service without lying in our, you know, or they'll be in shelving. And the question with that again is cost control, and they don't know right now if they're going to take advantage of the boundary towers that would then broadcast into other counties. You know, it's a Wyoming County program. It's going to be owned by Wyoming County, operated. You know, that's the whole thing behind that. However, now there's already talk about if we have a tower right on the you know, county border, why wouldn't we take advantage of that signal that it's already broadcasting, even though it goes into another county? But they're not sure if they can even do that, you know, either way. So that's about it for Speedy Cow. But again, we could be talking about being active within a month. Billing cycles again starting in April. That does it for my communication, I believe. That's it, right? Just all? I don't have anything from highway. Do you, anything to add here, tax-wise?
Tax-wise, well, in your package, you will find town clerk monthly report ending January 2026 for total disbursement of $528. Page 2, the supervisor for general fund, $232.38. Paid to New York State details for Fishing licenses, $23.62, paid to county treasurer for dog licensing, $220, and paid to New York State Animal Population Control, $52. Also, February 2nd ended the first wave of tax collection where taxes were due with no penalty. The next scheduled payment is due before March 2nd. So far, we've collected 4.6 million out of the 6 million that is charged. And that's all I have. Did anyone have trouble getting their tax bill this year? I have frequent phone calls about that. That's all I have.
Mr. Kirsch? Ann and Ed, any report?
So the agricultural and senior renewals went out in December. We've got most of them back and entered. The senior income limit, something that you guys want to consider increasing in the future, just because as people's incomes go up, they fall off that exemption. Right now it's currently set at 24,400. So.
And what does that mean then?
So basically, if they're less than 16,000, they get a 50% reduction. And then for about every $1,200 to $1,500 increment, there's a 5% sliding scale. So the maximum is 24,400. I think but like 3 people exceeded that limit this year because Social Security goes up every year.
Oh,
So their income goes up. So then they lost the exemption for 2026.
so it goes up, what did you say, 5%?
So that there's limits. So let's say if your income's 16,000, you get a 50% reduction. If your income's 17,500, you get a 45% reduction.
Okay.
You know, and it's like 18,700, you get a 40%. And every $1,200, it's a 5%. It diminishes as it gets
Up
closer
to
to
24,000,
24,000.
right? 24,400. Is that?
24,400 is the maximum.
Okay. So if you raise it, then they get an exemption, they would continue to get exemptions.
Right, so the state allows each municipality to adopt their income limit, and you can go as high as, I want to say 53,000, I think. And I'm not saying go to 50, I'm just saying that's the maximum you could go. I believe in our area, the highest one is Alton School, they're at 34,000. Attica School is at 12,000. I think the county and the town are at the same limit of 24,400. So each taxing jurisdiction can set the income limit for their own
Okay.
tax purpose.
When was the last time the county raised theirs?
It was when I was there, probably, I want to say 2016, 2017.
Up to 24,400?
Yeah. And they're talking about doing it again. I don't know if that's anything you've heard on your end. So maybe they're looking into it for next year. I know it was brought up by the director a couple months ago. A little bit of good news. So in December, the state issued their real estate trends. They're projecting us to be a 7% in Bennington, which means, so we did the reassessment last year to get to 100. If we go with their 7%, that would drop us down to 93. But I did put together a lot of sales data, basically since the reassessment through now. And I met with them one day, and we reviewed it, and I basically gave my best shot. So now we only have a 4.5% trend, which basically allows us to claim a higher equalization rate, which then we pick up less county and school tax in the apportionment process. So that was good.
Mr. Kirsch, this is the first time I've seen you since January 1st, so I got a question for you. Do you remember what you told me you did not have when I asked you for my SCAR information and my board assessment grievance day?
How long was this?
Last year, this year. remember what you told me you didn't have? My appraisals, you
Okay.
didn't have them? You know what this is? It says Mark Pryor's appraisals on it. You know where I found it?
Where'd you find that?
On your desk,
On my desk?
on your desk. So do me a favor and stick around after the meeting so we can talk.
Who put it on the
It
desk?
wasn't a question, just stick around after the meeting so we can talk. Anything from zoning or planning? Recreation Water District, we are coming down the home stretch of turning over to the county. The county should be taking over reading of the meters, should be taking over the billing. This was supposed to have been done in the not too distant past, but we're getting it completed now. We are completing one more cycle of reading and billing while working with the county administrator and the Water Resource Agency at the county to, again, get them to, that was the plan all along, so that they can take this over, take this burden off of us, and you know, the management of the water district. So hopefully by the next billing cycle, not hopefully, it has to be by the next billing cycle, that will be complete. Any petitions or public concerns? Any other business?
A couple questions.
Yep,
One of the big concerns obviously are roads.
yep.
With roads coming up, I was wondering if you could expand on some of your plans for the roads. And you, I guess you said that you have a new agreement with the county to help fix our roads. And I was
Yep.
wondering if you could just give some details on that.
Yeah, that'll all be in the newsletter, so grab yourself a copy of that on the 22nd, and it'll all be in that newsletter. I am working with Jake as far as, you know, our best plans. You know, this year, we're purchasing a plow, so, you know, our leftover monies for roads need to be maximized, need to be certainly, again, we need to make the best out of what we have. So we're going to come up with a plan. Also, I met with the Wyoming County Highway Superintendent last week or the week before, and he had a bunch of ideas for us as well. So as we put all of those ideas together, we will certainly let you know.
And then you'll tell us what the new agreement is and the new ideas and everything.
The
And where the
new
fund-
agreement?
Yeah, that's what you said, you have a new agreement with the county.
No, I believe what I said is there's going to be a new partnership with the county.
And a new partnership. And what is a new partnership? I guess I just.
So that's what I said, right?
Yep. New partnership.
Okay, so we will have a new partnership with the county moving forward to share resources in a much more efficient way for the town, for the county as well. Again, beneficial, more eyes on our situation, as well as a better plan from start to finish. My biggest issue is our roads of major concern. Those roads need to be taken to a level above where they are right now, and we need to maintain, you know, the other roads without them degrading to that level. That would certainly be step one. Devin over at the county had a bunch of ideas. Jake has a bunch of ideas as well. So, you know, that time is rapidly approaching when we all need to get together and decide on the best path forward. Yes, sir.
The new garbage situation with waste management, could you
Yeah.
kind of go into a little bit more what that's gonna look like? As it sounds like it's not gonna be point of use, and we're gonna be using the town to manage some of that.
Yep, that's correct. So
And is there a cost increase to that too as well?
there's not a cost well, I mean, was a minor cost increase, I believe,
And
to.
then what's that minor cost?
I'll get that number for you.
Okay.
The biggest thing is the reduction in services, so the bulk pickups, you know, you've all got your schedules, those went down, you know, to the 6 months of better weather. I was told by planning, they don't have their idea complete, they don't have it yet. I
So
was
do
in
we have a
planning,
new contract with them already, and we don't have a plan for it?
with the county, the planning department at the county does not have their idea for how to pick up. There's supposed to be 2 to dates or to locations of our choice. They do not know. I was in the planning department myself last week, and they're still figuring it out. They're
Well, we-
still,
We have a contract though, right? We're moving into a new contract for 1 year,
correct,
and we know the new rates, but we don't know how the plan's gonna work.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and that is the county planning department.
And we're using our town into this with reduced services costing more.
If you see reduced services as 6 pickup days and then 2 additional days during the winter months, at your convenience. Now, what we don't know is what you're going to be able to bring to those. So before we say it's a reduction in services, we have to know you're going to be able to bring. Because you're only allowed to put so many items out at the curb during normal pickup days. So if they change that, when these receptacles become available, and you are allowed to put in, say, more items than you would normally be allowed to set at the curb, because they know you've had a couple month backlog, that's certainly possible. Again, I can't tell you what the county doesn't tell me. They don't have an answer to
So I
that.
guess it sounds like we have a contract, but we don't know the details of the contract, is what you're telling me.
I would contact the county planning department.
Okay.
That's what I would do. I asked them the same question, and their answer was, we're working on it.
Well, who's gonna man?
Correct, right,
If we're already paying waste management, why should
correct.
we have to pay somebody to man it?
Agreed, 100%. Are we supposed to just leave a receptacle out there unattended? And then Jay
They should
shows,
be sitting there.
right, and then we show up in the morning, and there's 10 microwaves, and used oil, and Freon, or anything else that we then, computers, or things we have to deal with that you would normally not be allowed. I don't want us policing this issue, any more than, I don't like it, any more than anybody else. I don't, in any way. I know what it's gonna turn into. I know it. It's gonna be chaos.
When are they bringing them?
They don't know. They don't know. They're like, we're working on either 2 solid dates, or they're going to give us a choice of when and where we would want these receptacles. We're gonna get to choose the date and the location. We don't have to put it here at Highway, but, we can't put it somewhere where it's unmonitored at all. But I also don't want people sitting here babysitting, a receptacle.
I think they ought to pay us if we're gonna do that.
I think we ought to get paid for a lot of things.
Have their people man it. We're paying it through our taxes, not them man it.
Yeah.
Right, well, how it's been presented to me at this point is they're gonna drop off a large receptacle, and apparently everybody's just supposed to be on their honor system to come and dispose of large bulk items. There's no scheduled hours, nothing of the sort.
So you contact who, the planning department in Warsaw?
Yeah. So I sat with the planning director at his desk, and he just kept saying, we're working on it.
When do they meet, when's the committee?
I don't know, planning is the third Wednesday of every month, at, I think, like 2 p.m.
So if you sat with him, talked to him, and now we're supposed to call him, he's gonna tell us something more than he didn't tell you?
I highly doubt it. I don't know what other answer you're looking for from me. What answer would you like me to give you?
I'm looking, like, the cost is gonna go up to do this, right?
Right?
And is this a 1-year contract, a 2-year contract, 3-year contract? Do you know what that is?
To my knowledge, it's 1.
Okay, so what's the plan after that, or you're not, planning department's not talking about that yet?
They don't even have an answer for me on this
Because
one.
the last one was a 5-year contract with escalation each year. Now we're to a 1-year contract that's escalated off of the 5-year contract.
Again,
With
if you would like to call the planning department and ask them to give you these answers, which I agree they should. They should.
Who is it? Who is it that's there?
I'll get you the contact, I believe.
Matthew.
Matt
Varelli.
Varelli. Now, he is brand new to planning in the county. I don't know if that is related or not. Very friendly guy, very approachable, very, easy to talk to, but, again, I can only relay the answers that are given to me.
one more question. Do you have any grants that we're actively seeking right now?
Yes, so, AFG, so we met with, Phil Gow from Claudia Tenney's office, and we are coordinating with all 4 fire departments for the AFG grants through FEMA, which from, Congresswoman Tenney's office, she tells me that this is gettable money for our fire departments. They highly encourage us, to do this. And as far as, what the results of that can be, we will see. That money is not always available. And we have a direct contact with FEMA, through Congresswoman Tenney's office, that our fire departments will be in contact with to assure that our grants are certainly, progressing and have all the information in them that, they believe. And I believe, don't quote me on this, but, the Congresswoman, I believe, is willing to write a letter of, support for any fire department, interested in these grants, which carries a lot of weight, to my understanding.
Is
So,
that through a website with the state?
So it's,
What's the name of the grant?
AFG, it's, firefighter grant, assistance for firefighter grants, I believe is the full, and it's through, FEMA is who's granting, the money.
Oh, okay.
I can get you that.
And do you know when that comes out?
So he was saying, maybe March, I believe is he was saying, but he wanted me to get, our fire guys, in contact with them so they're ready to roll when those gates open.
And do they write it for us?
No, that they're going to write for us, right, so they're going to guide us, and basically walk us through that process and make sure that we are, they know already, they know what they wanna hear and see, in these grants, so, they are going to work with us and the fire departments to make sure all our, T's are crossed and I's dotted.
So is it for equipment or
Can be
money?
No, it's not for money, so it's for, mostly what we would see, there's some structural things in there, but mostly what we would see are, equipment, coats, air packs, boots,
New trucks?
right?
Lots
Lots of new trucks.
Okay, I'm gonna look at it.
Yeah, very promising from what he proposed.
Okay.
Are there any other grants out there that we can get for anything else, or?
So, we will be seeking grants for the park, for sure. Again, now, through the Congresswoman's representative, we're basically going to address any gettable money for residents. They talked about energy efficiency program, people with, window replacement, all kinds of different things. There are some options for our areas that do have water, but that's very limited for us, so we're targeting more, global for all, something that all the residents can benefit from. So there's not huge grant money out there for road and, infrastructure, stuff like that, but we think we can target a lot of maybe low-hanging fruit for residents to capitalize, in, their everyday lives, or, like I said, to go to the park and see improvements there.
So do they, for like this energy efficient, do they have to apply themselves?
No, I believe yes and no, that they would provide us their information and it would all go in as one collective package. So they would obviously have to provide us, they would have to contribute, to that. He didn't go into a ton of detail on that, and, we'll have to see.
So who's ever interested, they have to put in their information, and then when you get the grant, that money specifically goes to those people?
Yeah, I believe how he said it would be, either assistance or an entire, an entire, reimbursement package, so it would have to be, I believe everything would have to be purchased in one, in one deal,
Oh, so it's actually all the windows or doors or
Right.
whatever. Oh.
whatever it is that,
What's that, do you know what that brand is called?
I don't.